Alright, folks, and welcome back to the channel. We're on here to discuss the news that Nicholas Kuhn is set to leave Celtic to go and join Italian side Como, and just discuss the whole landscape of this transfer window. I'm joined by Alistair to go over the news. Before we start, I just want to send the condolences out to Diogo Jota, who passed away this morning in a car accident along with his brother. Obviously, it's pretty awful news to hear, obviously, and just rest in peace and condolences to his family and everything else. Alistair, how are you doing first and
It up,
foremost?
by the way, before that total it up before we start, Josh.
Aye.
Um, passing on my condolences as well. So, no, I'm, I'm a bit shocked. No, that Nicholas Kuhn's away, just at the haste of it, and the fact is we clearly haven't got our ducks in a row as usual, and it's can just imagine them all running round the boardroom table. What, like the place is on fire.
Have you ever seen that meme? You ever seen that meme where it's the dog and he's sitting in the house and it's on fire. That is the Celtic boardroom. Every
Yeah,
transfer window, that's the Celtic boardroom. And Milo was a major asset, and I hope I'm proved wrong. But I don't have the confidence that I will be proved wrong.
well,
But it's
I've no excuse now, Josh. There's no
no, there's
excuse.
not excuse.
It wasn't
You know,
anyway.
Aye, no. But the news broke that obviously Kuhn. I think we all kind of thought that Kuhn may leave, but it was kind of uh, broke out the blue that Nicholas Kuhn would be leaving to join Como. Deal, I think €17 million.
19 million euros, so that equates to 16.5 million pounds.
It was broken by Fabrizio Romano, and according to this post by Everything Celtic, Celtic will make a £13.5 million profit from the sale. I really don't know how I feel about this one, to be honest. It was inevitable that he was probably going to go. I think, of course, that was quite inevitable that he was going to leave. You can either look at this two ways, Alice. You can either look at it, we're getting a decent amount of money for a guy who, according to some people, and probably correct it in some terms, was only trying for 6 months. Or you can look at it off the side of we need to replace a guy who had 36 goal contributions last season.
And
Um,
can that on you go?
no, I was just going to ask you, what way would you look at it?
Well, I don't want to be accused of being in a halfway house, but I don't think either side are wrong. I think he did only have
Aye.
6 good months. I don't think he'd be lying there. But if he clearly doesn't want to be here, Josh, and to be honest, you could tell that. You could tell that the last 6 months. But say this. Players can go at some and the time it takes. And I'm going to go on a bit of a rant here. I don't I don't want any excuse anymore. I d- if we want 4 players in, 4 starters, just do it. Because if you look at it this way, say it is 16 and a half. You've got 2 million for Lager Belka. That's 18.5 million quid in the club coffers. So
Added on to the
come
added
here.
on to the over £70 million was supposedly got in the bank. That's
Yeah,
90 million quid.
yeah.
Come on, man.
So 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 uh, I'm I'm going to name what I would do now. if I, somebody like me can work this out, then I should be head of Celtic's recruitment, to be honest with you, because if I can work this out, then it's no rocket science. You should be able to get, whether it be Strelic, Miovski, or Chiseta, Muller, the Serbian centre half. It's no rocket science. I want to see action, Josh. I don't
Aye,
want excuse anymore.
no, I would agree with that fully. And the one thing I'm on the side of the whole 36 goal contribution. I think you need to be careful what you wish for. I think
I
Nicholas
wish
Kuhn
they
over.
put him out the door, by the
Oh,
way.
I
I
know
was
that.
just
I know that.
thinking,
And you're right. I think both sides are right in specific areas. And both, obviously entitled to your opinion, and people are right in both kind of areas of the argument. But I just look at it and go at that. Yeah, I agree. £16 million or whatever, decent fee. For a guy who's not really been here very long. I was hoping we could get a bit more, but it is what it is. It's now I look at it and go when any player leaves Celtic, I look at it and go right. What's next? What's the next plan here? And the problem is with me, and I'm trying to. I do understand that it is only the start of July, but we can't keep continuing to just say, "Oh well, it's only the start of July." We've
a
got a
month
month.
today, a month
Aye,
exactly.
exactly. To our first competitive game of the season, and we have signed Tierney, who was already signed in January. Brilliant signing, superb signing. Nygren, I think, brilliant signing. Starting 11, probably quality. The other two, Cameron, and these are no any disrespect to the other two players. I don't know how Osman's going to go on. I hope he does really well. I think there's some good qualities in there.
You can't ask that for a boy.
Aye. And Amura, I'm not really
I
flattered at
don't
all with
get
that,
it.
to be honest.
I don't
I
get
don't
it.
get it personally. And people say, oh, maybe he'll be a future signing. The guy's 23-year-old.
I know Japan's different, but
I get that, but the guy's 23-year-old, and I know money, I'm trying not money does not buy you top players all the time. We spent a lot of money last summer, and I don't really think we've got value from him, I'm going to be honest with you. But it's not even the signings, but I'm looking at it and going, right, what are our plans here? I just look at it and go at that, and I'm trying not to come across really negative because I don't want to be, but I'm not really happy with the club at the moment. We are selling a friendly for 25 quid. There's no selling out properly, and they're just constantly fleecing the fans. They put something out this morning about some American range, and I'm like, Celtic, seriously?
read the room.
How much money? How much money do you want to fleece out of fans? Now, if you decide to go to that Newcastle game, I've not got a problem with that. But it's not really the point of if you go to the game or not. You're not the fans are not to blame. If you want to go and watch Celtic, that's perfectly fine. I've not got a problem with it. My problem is there's no value in anything anymore when it comes to and what I'm trying to say is I'm not trying to wet the bed or whatever, but there needs to be there's no it just seems a bit leisurely for me to be honest.
Seems to be
We
going one way. We
aye.
yeah, we spoke before on air about what rivals on the other side of the city seem to get deals done with haste. We seem to be the opposite. The only thing we're good at is selling players.
And people like and I get Rangers they need a whole team. They need a whole new team, right? When Rangers fans do probably agree with that. I just look at it and go at that, yes, but we still need a lot of players. I think people that are thinking 4 or 5 players and this is automatically fixed. No for me. We've just lost one of we're looking probably we're going to lose one of the main cogs last season. If you think he had tried for 6 months or not, he was one of the main cogs in us winning the league, progressing in Europe, and we've lost him. And there's no, we. I just maybe I don't know maybe in the news. I don't know. Maybe Celtic are doing their business under wraps, and see if they're doing that, brilliant, superb. But we're not, because you know what Celtic are like, Alistair. Everything gets leaked to the Daily Record or the Sun. Really, does it? Let's be honest. So we're not doing our
Yeah.
business under
Well,
wraps.
Josh, I'm not saying midfield is a priority, but see, to get a bit of good PR, they would say, we've agreed a fee with Kuhn, but we've also agreed a deal with Malone for Len Miller. And then people could.
Any player. See if you and this is, see if we sell Nicholas Kuhn, right, and bring a winger in 3 or 4 days, then it gives the fans a bit of hope. Right, do you know what? Maybe we're working really hard behind the scenes. But I just don't think that's going to be the case. Look at, for instance, we're linking Negrin for about 3 or 4 days before it was confirmed we were signing him, and I thought, no, do you know what? We're moving in the
A
direction
bit
here.
of Lennon, aye.
We're just back at the same bit, and I do understand it's the 3rd or 4th of July, but I just look at it and go, I don't really, I don't, me personally, I don't really know what our recruitment drive is in terms of what positions are we targeting. Are we targeting
Well,
a striker? Are we targeting a winger? Are we targeting a set backup left back? Are we targeting a centre half? Because we're not getting linked. Because if you were linked with players, you could go at that. Do you know what? Oh, we must be targeting a striker.
well, can I just say something? Now, I can only speak for me, but when I spoke about me being head of recruitment, I gave you 4 players there that the majority of us would take. But
Mm.
but it makes you wonder, why is it we always need to sell a player? We're cash rich. Why do we need to sell a player to buy a player?
Exactly, and that's
Why
aye.
it matter, really?
Exactly, and it'll probably happen again. It probably will happen. And I've said this before, and I've said I know it's not as easy as just going, like, you want that player, right? It's not Football Manager, it's not FIFA, so you can't just go, no, I want so and so, right? There's 10 million, right? Thanks. I know it's not as simple as that, but what Celtic should be doing, they should be doing a recruitment before the summer. We should be starting our summer recruitment in January. And
Yeah.
go, all right, what could be no strengthening in January? Right, Kyogo left, we weren't able to replace him. Right, striker on the cards here. Right, Greg Taylor's probably going to leave his contract, probably need a backup left back here. The Rocky, Scales, is only good enough. Lagerberg no good enough, probably need another centre half there. Midfielder might leave, Hatate might leave, right, we need another midfielder.
Mm.
That's what we have to do now. Celtic could be doing that and making a complete roaring calamity of it. But it just seems to me that Celtic in the summer windows need to go, right, what's the best we can get for our budget?
Yeah.
What's the best? And we go after them. But we
Yeah, I
don't do
know.
that. We just stumble and stumble and stumble and stumble, and you're kind of right. You're kind of looking and going, all right. Every day's passing. You're like, right, where's the signing? I thought, don't get me, I'm still getting time. But what I'm trying to say is, this needs to be the start of major investment into the Celtic team.
They own, and every penny is 18.5 million that we brought in.
Needs
And I
to be
mean,
invested back into the team.
it needs to go to the. I mean, if you look at it, we've not spent a penny. We haven't spent anything.
You know what I'm about to,
So,
and someday
development fees.
I was listening to 20 Minute Tim's podcast as well, and they were saying, they were like, remember we used to, I think it was Melly that was saying about it, and he was saying, remember we used to, moan when we signed project players for 3 million. They were signing project players for £1 million.
Not even that.
And I'm not saying, and people, I can already hear people saying, well, money doesn't guarantee, and I get that. I don't care if he's,
But
but I need to see not names on a list or links to somebody, or because people might like say as well, oh, do you know what, Celtic are maybe just doing their business under wraps. I know Celtic too well. We don't.
we don't. Well, right. Nicholas Kuhn's now away. We can go for target A, B, C, and D. You know that's not happening.
Aye, but they knew Nicola. Even before that, they should have been like, all right, we'll go for target A. We'll go for
Do-
Barclays
And,
if that's the guy. Because we know Kuhn's
and,
probably going to leave this summer, but at least when Kuhn leaves, we can go at, do you know what, right, there's Kuhn's replacement there. Happy days.
and you know what's going to happen now? When and if we get 3 or 4 players, and I'm in no doubt we will, it's just the level of the player,
The
right?
level.
But every target now we go for, the price is going to go up. Who would have
Exactly.
thought after the
Exactly.
Adam to carry on?
Exactly. The longer you leave it, the less time it gives clubs to go at. Like, we need to get a replacement for. So, say we got a Norwegian club or a Swedish club for one of the players, it's probably going to be their star player.
Aye,
Just like us, when we need to probably rush to get a replacement in to get for Mattarelli, or when Jota left, we rushed in and get Lewis Palmer. The less said about that, the better.
well,
But
before you go any further than that, Josh, I need to get this out because I've just remembered. Our wingers at the moment, folks, are Maeda, which is one good one, right? But you've got Yang, Palmer, and an aging James Foley.
what do you know what I'll do?
Uh,
I've got the squad depth up on transfer mark. We'll actually go through it, right? We'll actually go through it and we will analyse if they're good enough or they're shit, pretty much. Um, I mean, there's probably going to be a pretty overused word in this when we do this. So for goalkeepers, we'll get Vim Sinisal, Casper Schmeichel, Ross Doohan, all fine by me. Cameron
yeah,
Carter Vickers, trusty. So Cameron Carter Vickers, fine. Trusty, fine. Scales, you know my opinion, shite. But
yeah,
he'll probably stay, to be honest. And I'm not fully against it compared to some of the other players that we've got at the moment. Lagerbielke's off, so we can scratch that. Naroki probably off. Stephen Welsh off. Kieran Tierney obviously just signed, so he'll be off. Montgomery will probably go back out on loan, I would imagine, or he could be the
yeah.
backup left
Well,
back, but who knows?
he's the cover at the moment.
Aye. Johnston, fine. Ralston, I'm fine with. Quan, I mean, I don't even need to go. I
Cohen, I
mean,
think he's off.
Hatate would love to keep, but he's at big risk and probably going. Arne Engels will stay. Bernardo will stay. Big season ahead of Bernardo for me. Cal McGregor will stay. Luke McCowan for me is fine. Will stay. Maeda, another player will probably be a few bids made, I'd imagine. I'd be naive not to think that it wouldn't be. Jota
I
obviously
think
Jota out
you need
injured.
to be, yeah.
Luis Palma, I mean, moving on. Kuhn's away now, so it's not even updated. So Nicholas Kuhn's away. Nigrin also just signed, so that's fine. Yang at loan, to see
I
what he
think
can do out on loan.
I think you need to keep young now, certainly for the time being.
There's a problem
But
right there.
you know, my
There's a problem right there. There's the issue right
but
there.
you know my thoughts, young.
Because if you look at right, so if you look at our, if you look at, so we've got three goalkeepers. Realistically, we have got at the moment we've got a lot of centre halves. We have got one, two, three, four, five,
Yeah, I
six
know
centre
that's right.
halves,
Seven,
seven centre
seven if
halves.
you include
Well,
Dane
Lagerbielke's.
Murray.
I will. This is just probably players that are in the squad. So I seven. Well, if Lagerbielke are away, so it's six. You've got a right back, two right backs, fine. You've got one left back and one that I don't think is good enough to even to play backup. You've got one,
Adam
two,
McDonald is a win.
you've got one, two, three, four, five, six midfielders. Still think you need more there because one of the midfielders is Quan.
Yeah,
You've got one.
we
I'm
all
even going
know
to.
who we want it to be.
I'm no. I'm not even going to include Jota in it. You've got one, two, three, 4, 5, 6 wingers, and 2 of them are Marco Tilio and Luis Palma.
Forgot about Tully.
Strikers as well, you've got Adam Ida, Johnny Kenny, and Callum Osman. Celtic, come on. I know it's only July, but what are we doing?
And now we need Maeda to play in 2 places. As it stands, we need him to play wide and we need him to play through the middle.
It's people will probably say to me, it's only July. I don't buy it. I don't. We should be trying to. We should be going at. We should be linked with a lot of players and going, do you know what? Oh, link with this player. That might be a good player. You know, I should be waking up maybe every few days and going, looking on the Twitter as I always do when I wake up and I see what's going on, and I should be seeing Celtic have inquired about so and so. I'm not seeing that. I'm just seeing. Going to Celtic Twitter and nothing's happening. I'm a bit like, we're going to get to August and it's still going to be like this. Then we start to panic because that's all the people are telling us to calm down. We'll start panicking in August. We've just sold it. We've just sold a guy
before the Matt Riley.
We've just sold a guy who, but at least one thing I'll say about Matt Riley, at least we knew that probably Arne Engels was going to come in. We don't have a clue who's going to come into the place, Kuhn.
Of course, the only thing I would say about that, Josh, I think people forget how late Arne Engels actually come in.
Oh no, it was really late. But at least we're making bids. I'm not. It's not even bringing players in. I'm looking at it and going, right, because I know you can't bring all your players in the middle of July. I understand that, but I'm looking and going, right. So where's the bids being made for these players? We've got the finance. There's also £40 million up for grabs, and I think there's also the growth of Celtic as well. I've made it clear that a growth gets stagnated if we don't qualify for the Champions League.
Well, for a start, we start making losses.
And by the way, I found this quote. I found this quote a few years other day, and actually, I burst out laughing. See, when Brendan Rodgers was appointed as Celtic manager, Michael Nicholson said no. The second time, he said we would like to see Celtic in a European final in 5 years. I mean, and I don't know what else they need to go at. No, do you know what? We'll spend money because we've seen the progression.
They want to start acting like it then.
Aye, we were 92nd. We were one kick of the ball away from taking Bayern Munich to extra time in their own backyard.
In Germany.
Exactly. So, what I would say to end off, because we've been ranting for a while.
Celtic,
I would end it on this. The business needs to start now, and we need to start looking, seeing a clear plan and what we are looking for this summer, because it's just there's so many mixed messages. It's all muddled up, and you're like, right, what are we? This is just confusing. It's confusing. That is the word I would use. Absolutely confusing. But aye. And the irony is, bet you will not have a winger in by the time Nicholas Kuhn plays for Como against us. Imagine that.
Disrespect to Bonner, by the way, but
no. It's just frustrating, and the frustration's only going to build the longer it goes on. Where we're not seeing.
I'm going to steal your quote. Surely they're not that daft.
I'd like to think so.
I'm hoping they'll get someday.
It's nothing. It's nothing to do with daft. They just run a business. They don't run a football club. They run a business. It's nothing to do with daft, because a business. Peter Lawwell, Nicholson. I'm not going to. And do you know what? I'm not going to blame. It's not even the board of the argument. It's the recruitment.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but you said Johnny Kenny and Callum Osman and Adam Ida are the 3 strikers.
At
That
the
is
moment, that's our
that
options
is
for
a shocking state of affairs.
there's not a first choice striker between them, in my opinion.
No.
And that might be sound harsh to Adam either. I don't think he's ready to take the reins and be a first choice striker. And that's what I was talking
It's
about as
not
well.
a goal scorer as well.
And people talk about when Ida was at his peak when we signed him on loan. That's because that's because there was a lot in the line. And
Yeah,
I
he
think
had a guy breathing down his neck.
Kyogo was breathing down his neck. So I think Ida needs that as well. And I don't think Callum Osmond and I could be wrong on that completely, right? I don't know if Callum Osmond and Johnny Kenny will give them that competition. So what I would say, over the next few weeks, Celtic need to hurry up. They need to start doing their work. They need to start looking at major investment is needed in their squad because it is not good enough.
Yep.
I'll use one of Peter Lawwell's great quotes. We aim to come out every transfer window stronger. Well, at the moment, Well, at the moment, we're no stronger. We're probably worse. Well, we are because we've just lost one of our major players for last season. So,
Yeah.
if I were to say to the Celtic board, get that together, and we need to
Maybe
start.
that's what I would say.
We need to start seeing recruitment through the door. It's great that we've got Tierney and we've got Negrin and that we've got Tierney and Duan and Osmond. I think they'll be decent players, but we need to. You can't just you can't just keep dwelling on the second. We need to. I'm kind of the idea, right? Right, we've got one. What Tierney in brilliant next player, Negrin in brilliant next player, Duan's in brilliant next player. Until I can look at our squad. Until I can look at your squad and go, do you know what? I'm happy.
But we're never happy.
But no, we're never happy. And people say, you'll never be happy, whatever. Partly it's probably right, but
we're always 2 or 3 players short, and it really annoys me.
I want to look at the squad and go, you're never happy. You always want more, I'm always wanting better. But I want to look at the squad and go, no, do you know what? We've got good cover in each position. We've got if one player's injured, we can go, oh no, he's there and we can bring him in. There's competition, everything's healthy, but it's never the case with Celtic. So to end off it, I would just say that Celtic need to get their act together, and they need to start. We've sold one of our major players now. Invest. There was never any excuse for investment. There's now no excuse.
I agree with you, but I'm one action news. That's all I want.
Aye.
I don't want links with players. I want deals done. I don't want. I mean, whether it be Odysseus or Balacrisha, or Strelica, whoever the striker's going to be. I want medicals. I want
concrete stuff. Aye. I want concrete stuff. But the last thing I will say is just obviously best of luck to Nicholas Kuhn's next move. Brilliant player for us.
I always remember the light goal.
Aye, and I don't subscribe to this rubbish that he was a player that couldn't have interest. I think it's just nonsense and a stick to beat him with. But best of luck to him, Como, if he does go there. But I'm focusing on Celtic, and I think Celtic need to start getting that together in this transfer window. But I'm going to wrap it up there. We'll be back. Hopefully with more news if something does happen. But I don't know if he'll be seeing this, to be honest with you. Going with what's happened usually in this transfer window so far. But until next time, we'll speak to you later. And hail, hail.
Hail, hail.